and welcome to You Are Loved. I am your host, Sarah McCormick, and I am so glad that you're here today. Today, we are going to be talking about how I am supporting my husband through law school. So, back in January, my husband was put out on medical leave. He was medically disqualified from his police job. And during those 5 weeks, he took a hard look at where he wanted to be in the future. There was a lot of discussions that happened. And essentially, his mom said to him, if you get into law school, I'll pay for it. Because honestly, he had been looking to go to law school for the past few years. It's something that he really wanted to do because there was only so much help he could give people as a police officer. And he figured that he's good in a courtroom. He has never lost a case while he was a police officer. And he thought that, by going to law school, I will be able to help even more people. So he had been tossing this idea around for probably the past 4 to 5 years. But one thing always stopped him from going, and that was funding. We always said, oh, when we make enough money, we'll send you to law school. Or after this, we'll send you to law school. Or we'll start saving money and then we'll send you to law school. And his mom is moving in with us. So she is selling her house, which she owns outright. And she's moving in with us. And she said, if you get into law school, I will pay for it. Well, we are not entirely sure if she expected him to get into law school or not, but he did. And he just had orientation and he's starting. So I just remember, guys, these things are pre recorded. So it is actually August 22nd while I'm recording this, just to give you an idea. So he starts law school on Monday. So he did his orientation, got through that, and now it really starts. So I want to tell you about how I am supporting him through his law school journey. Bear with me here. I promise you it relates back to love because I love my husband. So I am the more organized of the two of us. I am the one who actually taught him how to be organized. And I have to thank my third grade teacher, Mrs. O'Grady, for that because she got us organized. So once Randy got his class list, I said to him, okay, I know it's only July, but the back to school stuff is out. Let's go get you ready for school. So he has 4 classes. He has property, legal methods, torts, and a torts lab. So 4 classes. And I am a color coded person. And he's like, that works for me too. So we color code everything. So everything having to do with property is red. Everything having to do with legal methods is green. Everything having to do with torts is gray or black. And everything having to do with the torts lab is blue. So his binders are those specific colors. His spiral notebooks where he takes his notes are those colors. In his, I think it's Canvas, where he gets a lot of his work from, you can actually color code your sections. So he color coded property is red, legal methods is green, torts is black or gray, and torts lab is blue. So one of the things, if you ever go to law school, there is a lot of work you have to do. There is a lot of reading. I mean, I feel like the only thing that my husband has done this past week is read, and he is not an avid reader. He will read if he has to read, but it's not something that he just picks up and does. Like, I love to read web comics. I'll do web comics. I'll do books on occasion, but I'm more of the reader than he is. And since both of our kids are going to be in elementary school, and I'm trying to balance things at home with doing this podcast, and I'm going to be probably getting some part time work after school starts, I wanted to be able to support him the best way that I could. So, one of the ways that I feel that I can do that is I went and I got these calendars that are blank, and I got colored markers, and we probably spent close to $50 on all of this. But I said to him, I think it's worth it because this will help us. So everything we got was actually Post-it. We got this big Post-it calendar that lets you write in like the month and the day, which is good because I had filled out all of his stuff for property because the teachers give you a syllabus and the syllabus lists out, this is what we're doing on this date. This is what we're doing on this date. This is what we're doing on this date. So you know exactly what is expected of you every class. And I said, Randy, since you have all of that, how about I put that on a calendar? I'll put it in for all of your classes so that we can easily see what is due. And then if we have other things that we know that we have to manage during that week, you'll be better prepared because you know what's coming up. So it was good that we got those calendars that I could just rewrite because his property professor got a little overzealous and forgot that their class was on Monday and Thursday. And in his syllabus, he had done Monday and Wednesday. So I had to rewrite all of the property stuff. And instead of making it look messy with whiteout and everything, I just wrote a whole new calendar. So what I did, not yesterday, but the day before, was Randy printed out all of his different syllabuses, plural of syllabus. He printed them all out. And I wrote on the calendar, which will be hanging in our bedroom. We have to get some sheet protectors because I found out that I can fit them in sheet protectors instead of taping them because I originally taped them and you couldn't get them down without ripping them. But I figured with the sheet protectors, we can slide them in. And then if I need to make any changes, I can slide it out, make the changes, and then put it back in. So they are going to be on our Besta bookshelf that we have that has doors on it, which we specifically got for that reason. So that's going to be up there that I can go up and I can look to see what Randy has due every week. He also has an assignment book that we got. And what I did was, because we have the syllabus for everything that is expected for every class, I took his assignment book and wrote out all of the assignments for what is due on the specific day. So like his first class on, what is that, the 24th? The 23rd, tomorrow. Oh, it's Sunday. I wrote down what he had due and I color coded it based on the class. So all of his tort stuff, I wrote in black. All of his legal method stuff, I wrote in green. All of his property stuff, I wrote in red. And the torts lab I didn't put in yet because we weren't exactly sure how that was going, if the assignment was what was due that day or if it's what they were going to be assigned that day. I filled that all out in his planner, and he actually got a student planner, so it had like, here you can list your different subjects. So what I did was there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think 7 different sections. So I did 2 for torts, 2 for property, 2 for legal methods, and then 1 for the torts lab. And I wrote in the different colors, it's like a grid thing, what his assignments were. Now he has extra space that if the professor needs to clarify what's going to be expected of them for the next class or anything like that, he has room to put that in. And I know, at least for me, seeing it laid out like that didn't feel as overwhelming as when you look at the syllabus and you say, oh my gosh, I have so much that I need to get done. So let's see, we've got the calendar on the wall of what is due. We've got the student planner with what is due. I also got these Post-it notes that have what is expected of you. It's like a to-do list. So I wrote in there what was due. Like Monday, you have property and you have torts. And then Wednesday, you have torts and legal methods. And then Thursday, you have legal methods and property. So I wrote down what was due on those days. Plus, for his property class, he has a post-class assessment that is due every Sunday. So I put that post-class assessment on there because it's due every Sunday. So I plan on filling one of those out for him every week so that he knows what is coming up. The other thing that I did was I tagged his books. So in his torts book, basically the way that the professor has set up for torts is that for the first 3 weeks, they work on specific chapters. And then the next set of weeks, they work on next chapters. So it wasn't as detailed as property was, where it was for Monday's class, have pages 1 to 22 read. And then for Thursday's class, have pages 23 to 47 read. And then for next Monday's class, have. It wasn't as detailed as that was. So what I did was I wrote down what was due because at the end of the class, the professor will tell you what pages you need to read. So in his torts book, because everything was listed by chapter, I tagged all of the chapters so he could easily find them when he needed to go to them because they don't read the entire torts book. They read sections out of that torts book because this is torts 1 and there's going to be, I'm assuming, a torts 2 where they read more in the torts book. Then I took his property book. That was the next one that I did. I took his property book. And because that was listed out class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4, class 5, I actually took little post-it notes and put 1 and tabbed where 1 started, and then 2 and tabbed where 2 started. So every single reading assignment that he has to do is tagged and tagged based on the class. And he can easily cross-reference that by going back to his syllabus and saying, okay, well, Monday's class is class number 1, so I need to make sure that I have what's tabbed as number 1 in there read. And then I took his legal methods book, and he has a book for that. And because we don't exactly know how much he's going to have to read until he gets to that class, I just tagged the first assignment that the professor had gave him. So I tagged Wednesdays with orange and Thursdays with purple. So then when he gets done, because I think she gave him the first 2, and then I'll just have to go through and tag them as he gets more assignments. The other thing is I have a copy of all of his syllabuses. I got to really figure out what that is, what multiple of syllabus is called. So I have those. I have a folder on my desk that I have all of those in. And then what we will do is every week we will get together before class starts. We'll probably do it on Sundays. And we'll say, okay, for your class on Monday, do you have this completed and this completed and this completed? Yes, I have all that reading completed. Okay, good. What about Wednesday? Your classes that you have on Wednesday, do you have all of that reading done? Yes or no? Thursday, do you have all of that reading done? Yes or no? So part of the way that I am supporting him is helping him stay organized and make sure that he has all of the assignments completed that he needs to have completed. And I know when he first got it and he first started printing everything out, he goes, this is a lot of reading and this is getting really overwhelming. And I said, hey, I've been there before. My whole last semester of college was being overwhelmed and getting an entire semester worth of stuff done in 10 weeks, including finals that I had to overnight mail to the different colleges that I was doing independent study through. So I already had practice with, hey, a big calendar. This is when I need to get my assignments done. So I said to him, I know this is really overwhelming, so let's break it down. Let's put it on different calendars in different places so you have multiple places where you can look. It all has the same information, but basically you have a few different places where you can look. Somewhere that I have access to that I can easily look. You have it that it's in your bag because if he's at school and he wants to know what's expected of him, or if he's not at the house, he has that in his student planner where he doesn't have to say, oh man, I don't know what it is and it's upstairs in our bedroom on our bookshelf and I can't access it right now. That's basically what I'm doing to support Randy as he goes through law school because I want him to succeed. I want him to do well because I love him. And I'm going to love those really nice paychecks when they eventually come in when he passes the bar. Do you feel supported by me, Randy? Do you like that I help you organize? What? I do. He loves that I'm organized. Does it help keep your anxiety down? Yeah.
Everything you marked in that one book is what I have to read before Thursday.
Yeah, I just want to double check that. I think that's how it is. I think that's what it was. Because did she give you Wednesday and Thursday's reading?
She gives everything. That's probably right.
Okay, well, on that note, I'm going to wrap up this podcast so that I can get back to helping my husband for law school. Plus, did you watch the timing videos yet? So, one of his assignments is to watch these videos on time management, which is something that I feel that I'm pretty good at. Because one of his assignments for Torts Lab is to map out the first 6 weeks of law school. I'm assuming to make sure that you get everything done in time. So I think we're going to go watch those videos and I'm going to help him map that out because it's something that I'm good at. On that note, thank you for tuning in today. If you want to hear more about Randy's law school adventures, make sure that you hit that follow button so you don't miss an episode.